Hello and welcome to the video series of what to expect in your first weeks as a nursing student at the University of Northampton. My name's Louise and I am a first year nursing student at University of Northampton. This is video 1 of 4. Within video 1, I'll be showing you how you will be receiving your Welcome Weeks timetables. We'll also look at a sample Welcome Week timetable and how to use it, and we will also look at a sample online classroom. This is a sample of an email that you'll receive from the admissions team, and this has an attachment, a Word attachment with your Welcome Week timetable on it. So you'll then go onto this attachment, open that, and that will open your timetable. Now, once you have opened the attachment in your email, you will see something along the lines of this sample Welcome Week timetable that I'm showing. This sample Welcome Week timetable has been used for an online Welcome Week. Now, you may receive either an online Welcome Week or a face-to-face Welcome Week, but they will be primarily almost the same. On here you'll see the date, the time, the title of the class, and you'll then see the link there that it gives you to take you through to the online class. Now, if your class is face-to-face, instead of the link you will just have an address as to where your class is, so the classroom, for example, and what building that is, and whether it's on the campus, etc. So this being the online Welcome Week, if this is, say, for an online class, you will click on this link and it will take you through to an online classroom. Now, in the next slide, I'm going to show you all about what an online classroom looks like. Hello and welcome to your online classroom. This is where you will come in to have any online lessons, and this is where you will come in once you have clicked on your timetable that will be sent into to you for your Welcome Week. Once you click that link, it will take you into your classroom. Now, I will show you around. There's a few things that you'll want to have a look at. So down here, next to where I've got my picture here, at the bottom of the screen, you've got where it says share audio, so that's for your mic. So you click that to, at the moment I'm muted, so you can click that to speak. Normally, as classroom etiquette, we have our microphones off and our cameras off unless we are asked to speak in the class. The reason for that is sometimes you can have up to 90, 100 people in a classroom, and if everybody's got their cameras and microphones on, not only is it noisy, but it uses up a lot of bandwidth, and you can lose a lot of connection or have a lot of connection issues. So here you'd click on this to unmute and then click on that to mute again. Just here is for your video. So it's quite rare at the moment that we share our video, but if you're in smaller groups then you can. So if you want to share your video, you would just click this and it would come up with your video. You click OK and go through there. If you're having a lecture with your tutor and you want to ask a question, normal online classroom etiquette is that you would raise your hand using this button here down at the bottom. Your lecturer will be able to see then that you've got your hand raised, and then they will ask you to speak then at an appropriate time. On here, so coming over to the right hand side onto this big white tab here, sometimes when you come into the classroom you might not see this big white tab and you may only see this yellow, purple small tab down at the bottom with the arrows. So just click that to open there and that will open up. Along the bottom you've got different buttons on here to bring you up different sides. So this one at the bottom, the little speech bubble, this is for the class chat. So the tutor may sometimes put things in there or Your classmates will normally be commenting during the lecture, which is quite nice, because normally when you're having a lecture, normally you wouldn't get a chance to say anything or speak your thoughts, etc., to your classmates necessarily whilst the lecturer is speaking. So it's actually quite nice to be able to say if you don't understand something, or to comment, you know, generally on what's being said. That's quite nice. You can change your fonts, you can do little emoji faces, etc. It's, yeah, it can get quite interesting. Along here you've got the two little people and the number 1. So the number 1 just shows that it's only myself that's in this classroom at the moment. So sometimes, like I said earlier, that can get up to 90, 100 people sometimes. I've personally not seen it go over that, but I'm sure it can do with bigger cohorts than mine. So you would click on this if you want to have a look at the attendees that are in the classroom. You can. You will see the list of names of all of your classmates, and if there are other classmates, you can actually send them a private message. So say you wanted to send your lecturer a private message, you could do that. You could click on, and you could click, and then you can also see if there's something up with their service or their internet connection, etc. You'd be able to see that if there's any problems, etc. as well. Moving along as well, you've got this square with the arrow, and this is where if your lecturer has approved for you to be able to share anything. So this is where you can share your screen or share any files. So if you've gone into group work, so I'll show you group work, or I'll tell you about group work in a moment, but if you've gone into group work and you've created something called a whiteboard, you could do that from this screen here with using this button. It will give you a list down here with share a file, share your screen, share a whiteboard, and that will mean then a whiteboard, etc. would mean that everyone in the classroom can see and can collaborate on a piece of work together that can then be shown later on. So that's that, but you have to be given permissions to be able to do that. Moving along again in the bottom, you've got my settings, and here is basic settings. So at the top here, you've got my name, and I have put a photo of myself on there. The lecturers do like you to do this, and you can do this even if you haven't got your NAR password yet. The settings will stay with you, so if you're using the same device. So I was using the same laptop before I got my NAR password, so I uploaded my photo and it stayed along with me. So to change up your photograph, or to add on your photograph, you would just click where the pencil says, and you can click on the upload with the plus button, and you could click on there and import a photo from your device, so that's already on your laptop or whichever device that you're using, or you can use a photo from your camera, but I'm definitely not brave enough to do that. You can also check your settings here for your camera and microphone, and your speaker volume, etc. as well. So you always want to make sure that you've checked your camera and microphone before, during your welcome week, etc., and see if there's anything that you need to do, because the worst thing is somebody who's speaking and you can barely hear what they're saying, or if their microphone doesn't work at all. That needs to be sorted out, because in group work you will definitely need to be able to speak to your classmates. You've also got along here where you can report an issue and chat support. I've personally not used these, but if there was an issue, you would normally tell the lecturer in the class first, and they may say for you to report that. So that's this white tab here. So we'll close that off. Now up on the left hand side at the top, you've got this burger menu here. It's a session menu, so you can click on there and you can report an issue. You can also learn on here about what Collaborate is, which is what this classroom is called. You've got some help here and a privacy policy, and this is also how you're going to leave your classroom. So at the end of your lecture, you will need to leave the session. It will ask you if you're sure you want to leave, and it will ask you for a review you know, was your class session good, etc. Mostly to look at connection issues more than the actual lesson, but that's how you would leave your session. Okay, so that's your online classroom. Now I'm going to be showing you later in the video, you would come straight into the classroom if you're clicking the link from your Welcome Week email timetable. But once you have got your NILE password, and you'll be, after your Welcome Week, you will be accessing your classrooms. The classrooms are exactly the same, but you'll be accessing them in a slightly different way. You'll be accessing them through your NILE account. So later on, when I'm showing the NILE account, which is Blackboard/NILE, I will show you how to do that.